Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome. So let's get right into it. What are we talking about today? Today, we're going to talk about how to be financially independent, right? It's still on the path of self awareness, self growth, right? And self development. But what does it look like to be financially independent? And how do we do that? Right? There are many ways we can do that. So I'm just going to give you a few ideas on how to be financially independent of anyone, of anything, of any organization, any type of assistance from anybody, right? You can do it all on your own. It just takes a little organizing and prioritizing. Okay? So, if you already live by yourself, if you're already working and you want to move into your own place, how do you maintain your independency? So, one, you want to always ask yourself if you can afford things, right? And that's not just for things that you can actually buy with cash. As you know, in life, everything is for sale, right? So everything takes affordability, right? Is can we afford this rent? Can we afford this budget, right? Not only that, but you also want to ask yourself in the decisions that you make day in and day out, can you afford making this decision, right? For example, your work, you want to take time off, you're tired. We all get tired sometimes and we all just want to break, right? Very normal. However, you want to ask yourself, can I afford to take time off today, right? So that tomorrow, meaning later on, when your rent comes up, you're not short on your check because you took 2 days off in a row. Or even sometime a day can hinder us, right? And you're not like, oops, now I'm short on my check. Now I gotta fall behind on my rent. Eventually, I gotta move, right? To avoid all of those domino effects, we have to learn how to prioritize. We have to learn how to ask ourselves, can we afford it? Can we afford doing this and still keep our independency, right? Be more organized. So if you have to take time off, you want to ask yourself, if I can afford it, if I cannot, and if you could afford it, sure thing, take your time off, take your break, enjoy yourself, right? If I take today, you analyze your options, right? If I take time off today, can I still pay my rent when it comes? Can I still afford to eat, right? If the answer is yes, take the time off. If the answer is no, go ahead and push yourself to get through the day and go to work. Because remember, you can always take time off next week. You can tell yourself, I'll go to work today. Next week, I'll be able to afford to take time off. Because if you get like 2 checks, you can say, okay, I'm going to go to work, make this check, pay my rent, eat, right? And if you have another bill, you also throw that in there, right? Can I afford to eat, pay my rent, and pay this bill? Yes. Okay. Take time off. No, I'll go to work today, and then next week I can afford to take time off. Right? This is how we organize and we prioritize by asking ourselves, can we afford it? Right? Another great way to prioritize yourself is you want to go out, hang out with your friends. Can you afford to do that? Right? I want to go out, have a good time, spend a little money. That's fine sometimes, right? But you want to ask yourself, today, this weekend, can I afford to go and enjoy myself and spend a little money, right? And still make my bills on time. If the answer is no, Reschedule with your friends. Excuse me, I need to get some water. I've been talking a lot today. So go ahead and ask yourself, do I need to go ahead and reschedule this for another week, another day, so that I am able to better afford and better manage my spending? You know, this is another great ways that you can, it's just little things. So every day we make a decision, it creates some type of domino effects, right? Whether it's a positive or a negative, whether it affects us in ways that we appreciate or we don't appreciate, we are constantly creating a domino effect by every little decision we make in our daily lives. So keeping that in mind and asking yourself each decision you make, can you afford it? Then go ahead and make your buy and enjoy yourself. If not, prioritize and say, I'm going to put that on hold for next week, for next time. Okay? And make sure when next week and next time comes, you actually get to it, right? Maybe you can't reschedule with your friends next weekend, they have other plans. That's fine. Next weekend, you take yourself out to eat. You take yourself out. Whatever it is, it looks like for you to enjoy yourself, you do that for yourself. Because mentally, subconsciously, you are recording everything. If you, for example, say, I'm going to do it next week, and your friends cancel on you next week, and you don't get to do it, your mind subconsciously gets disappointed. And you can only take so much disappointment before you break down and make a bad decision. So to avoid that domino effect, you continue with yourself and enjoy your day as you promised yourself, right? Because the next weekend comes, your mind has already programmed itself to, hey, I went out last weekend, I enjoyed myself. I'm sorry, I can't come out this weekend. I am prioritizing. Okay? You'll learn that. Another great way to keep your financial independence so that you can be free of anyone's assistance is to save some money, right? Always have a rainy day fund, or what do they call it? Mad money, right? Always pay yourself first. Like one thing that truly helped me with my financial freedom is is the lesson I learned, okay? From, I believe it's from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Always. It's a great book. You should definitely read that. And you know what? I'm going to make a video on all the great books and great tips that you can look for within those books. One thing you want to always do is pay yourself first, okay? Here is the key. Here's one thing, just keep with you and you will see yourself grow financially, okay? And be independent. Always pay yourself first. And keep in mind that you can always afford to pay yourself first. Now, the day you find yourself that I can't afford to pay myself, I gotta pay my rent, you're in trouble. Okay? And the crazy thing is about our society, most of us seem to believe that. Okay? You can always pay yourself first. And you can always afford to pay yourself first. Now, what does that mean, or what does it look like? It doesn't mean that you need to put half of your paycheck in a saving, or that it's a guarantee that you must put $100 every month. If you can afford to do that, kudos to you. I'm very proud. However, you can always afford to pay yourself first, right? What do I mean by that? Even if it's just $10, even if it's just $50, even if it's just literally, and I mean this is why you can always afford to pay yourself, even if it is $1, right? You can always put that aside for yourself. So every paycheck you get, you pay yourself first before you pay anything. Before you pay your rent, your bills, or anyone else, because that's you paying somebody else, right? You pay yourself first, then you pay everybody else. So if you say, hey Chai, all of my paycheck goes to my bills, how can I afford to pay myself? If you can literally have $1 left from your rent, from your whatever bill you have to pay, you pay that $1 to yourself first, and then pay your rent, pay your bills, pay everything else. Okay? Don't blindly take your check, pay everybody else, then you have a little something left over, because there's always something that's going to come up, whether it's your friends, whether it's a new clothes, whether it's just anything, eating, right? We're always spending money in everything because everything is for sale. Everything is affordability. So are you, okay? So is your subconsciousness, okay? So you pay yourself first. Take that $1, take that 50, take that 100, whatever you can afford to pay yourself, you pay yourself first, you spend the rest. Okay? That is one great lesson that I will always take forever with me, and I really hope you do too, okay? So yes, always prioritize. Always keep yourself first, and your organization is the key to your success. Okay? Now, if you ever want me to talk more in details about any of this stuff or how I stay on top of it, because I have been completely free and independent of anyone since I was 18 years old, and I still managed to do that. I never asked anyone for assistance. Thank you, Lord, except for my Creator. Thank you, Lord. And I can teach you how to do that too if you are definitely interested, okay? And I know you can do that. You can definitely do that, okay? We can always do whatever we put our mind to it without an assistance from anybody, right? That's why I always tell you, you can do it, and I know you can do it, okay? So feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to inbox me if you have any questions. And I will definitely send me an email. Go ahead and drop a comment. Hit this like button if you at least got one thing that you like from this. If you at least learned one thing from it, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button so we can share this with as much people as possible who are in need of this information. Okay? And as always, I really appreciate you guys being here with me, and I know you can do it, beautiful people, because I believe in you, and all you need is for you to believe in yourself, okay? Mwah. I love you, beautiful people. Thank you for being here with me. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more.